going on, everybody? It's Mike Goldstein Stickers. How you all doing? I am on the way to Rye, New Hampshire to visit the owner, Gregory Tufts, of Forged Medical Wellness in Rye, New Hampshire. He does a lot of things for health. He does testosterone replacement therapy. They do hydration stations so they can run IVs, replenish your fluids, get you feeling right. A whole slew of services. And we're going to check it out and see what they have to offer. I'm going to tour their facility. I'm going to meet him in person. And we're going to talk about all the services that he has come up with to help others feel their best, especially in men's health as well. So I'm on my way there. Gonna check it out, get a tour, and hear about his mission and why he does it. So stay tuned. Sir.
All right, take a seat. So you're here today for a testosterone replacement therapy evaluation. You're currently on TRT. You're kind of seeking transfer just for economical reasons and for just a different continuity of care.
That's correct.
So we're going to sit down. I use AI for charting. We already have all your demographics pumped in. Is it okay with you consent-wise to use AI?
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. So
What's
just
going
going
on,
through...
everybody? This is Mike Goldstein, Stickers of the C.A.N. Report. Nozzle Tov, everybody. I'm here in Rye, New Hampshire with Greg Tufts, and we're at Forged Wellness, and we're talking about physical health. We're talking about taking care of ourselves.
We are.
And Greg, it's a pleasure to see you, my friend.
It's good to see you again.
We actually have a history. We used to work with each other back in the day.
Way back.
Yeah.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we wanted to learn more about Forged Wellness.
Okay.
And what you guys do and why and the importance of actually all of it. Mental health, physical health and mental health, but I think it all ties in together.
It does.
And there's just so much out there, so much information out there. And I think it's important to know the why of all those things that are out there and knowing the good, the bads, the adverse reactions, or why you should take it, why you should not take certain things. So with you started in humble beginnings as well, still in humble beginnings. You've done fire and military.
Correct.
So give me a breakdown of how you all started this.
Yeah, so I guess breakdown on me is obviously like a lot of people in this service. My mother was a paramedic and my father was a fireman. I became a firefighter paramedic. So that's that script writes itself at times. But I kind of took my own path to it. So like 18 years old, coming out of high school, joined right into the Army as a medic. Had just all kinds of different worldly experiences with that. Had the opportunity to go overseas as a line medic to Iraq. Came home, took a promotion, went to school, was able to go to Afghanistan as a flight paramedic, which like that experience is both like everything you wanted and everything you didn't want in life. And anyone that's ever done that job can probably relate to that. You get the experience you thought you wanted right away. And it's drinking from a fire hose, you will get it. So you learn a lot fast. And I was very thankful for all that experience. Coming out of Afghanistan, I had gained a lot of trauma experience. Went back to civilian medicine, civilian world. In the military, transitioned into the infantry and actually reclassed to be an infantryman because I wanted to kind of go back to my roots a little and go back to the infantry, go back to the line. I wanted to leave aviation. And just had so much fun with that. Like I had done a lot of medicine in the military, and now I wanted to do like military. I wanted to just do the Army stuff, Like I wanted to shoot through the woods, and I got those opportunities. I got a chance to go to Ranger School, Airborne School, Pathfinder School, Mountain Warfare School. Wow. Like if they threw a school at me, I was like, sure, let's do it. Haven't trained for it. Let's see how this goes. I've had some great opportunities through the infantry. I had an opportunity to go out for U.S. Army Special Operations, and made it through the Special Forces Readiness Exercise and got accepted into the unit as a support company medic. So I transferred to 3rd Battalion, 20th Special Forces Group about 5-6 years ago. And that experience has just really changed who I was too. The caliber of people they retain in those organizations is just ridiculously high. Like you walk through the group and you're like, I'm not doing enough of my own time to be in this room. I need to work on it. I need to do better. I need to PT more. I need to study more. Like it's a steel sharpened steel environment there. And I started learning a lot about what these guys do, and I started really getting into this different programs like the HPW program, which is an Army program at keeping these Tier 1 athletes. Like, I think for a while they were just, look at the GWAT years, they were taking these just tremendous athletic individuals who are, Green Beret, Rangers, Navy SEALs, PJs, all the people that are in that realm of world, and they're just putting them into a meat grinder, mentally and physically, no food, no sleep, tons of physical activity. They're like, why are these guys breaking down on us? And they're like, say that out loud to yourself slowly and wonder why they're breaking down.
Yeah.
Like, they're still human beings. They're built different for sure. And I saw that myself. Like one of the jokes was, they allow women in Ranger School. I had women in Ranger School with me. I got dusted off by some women in Ranger School. Like they can do it. And like the big joke amongst us was like, by the end of Ranger School, you're all women anyway. Because like I didn't have to shave every day. Because like you don't get REM sleep, and you make testosterone during REM sleep. So by the end, nobody has any testosterone. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I was like, listen, if you think that's a genetic advantage, they take it away anyway.
Yeah.
And so you really see what these guys, it just puts you in the basement. And you see the physiological and psychological effects of having your hormones unbalanced and having like that level of toxicity in your body, lacking growth factor to be able to heal and recover from these physical activities you're doing, lacking the proper diet for being able to handle it. And the Army actually or the military in general, Joint Special Operations Command took a hard look at this, took a step back and started going to like professional athletes, like the Atlanta Falcons. They went and like toured them, like, what do you guys do to keep these guys performing at this tier on Sunday? And they maybe should have picked a different team, but they still went there. And like, and when they were like, oh, sensory deprivation, concussion protocols, like nutrition plans, physical therapy, like time off when you get hurt, like giving credit to the mental health aspect to what the body can create if you take care of the mind, like hormone replacement, like different things like that to keep you optimal. And then they took that information and brought it to like we now have positions that are just based around we have physiologists on the books in group, like that just keep care of our physical bodies. We have a health and wellness officer they do hormone replacement therapy and all those things to keep these guys operating at the level we need them to operate at. I mean, you looked at the news right now, you had like what happened in Venezuela or what happened in Iran, and like you see like the pinnacle of what these men are capable of. Every political aspect aside of it, you look at the sheer mission at hand and the men conducting that mission, and I think one of the reasons their caliber is so high and their ability to maintain that level of proficiency is because they're taking care of every aspect of their body. Like you can't neglect any of it. Yeah. I always joke I missed my early 20s when I didn't have to stretch before I ran. But like those times have gone.
Well, it's like, because like you just said that, you missed where you didn't have to stretch in your 20s. Like, I mean, I threw my back out, like, placing the bowl of cereal onto the table one day, and for months my back was killing me.
Now we get sleep injuries. You just wake up hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So you have such a great experience of just that part of it, just dealing with the military. And then you join the fire service, and you talk about sleep deprivation and not getting a REM state.
And I mean, so like just sheer minimum. So I got into all that. My background is I've had my paramedic 10, 15 years now, somewhere in between that swath. Paramedic experience is fantastic. Lots of independence, lots of understanding. You can be as good as you want to be, so you choose an organization that helps promote that. And I was lucky enough to have some great mentors in my career, so I was able to learn fast. Continued on my education, got my 1 bachelor's degree, and then did my accelerated bachelor's in nursing from Northeastern University. fantastic education, good schools, amazing clinical rotations, which can really be a make or break. Like, it wasn't just, hey, you have to do a pediatrics rotation. It's like, we're going to put you on the floor at Boston Children's Hospital. It's like, I'm going to learn something today.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to learn something today.
You're going to learn.
You're going to learn today. Yeah, it's going to happen. Like, you can't go to a caliper of that.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the amazing aspects of it. And I continued on. Now I'm in nurse practitioner school myself over at University of New Hampshire, and it's nice that I'm doing this well in school, because I was in my last semester. I was in an evidence-based practice class, so I had to read a lot of studies about stuff and learn like how to gather all of the different studies to formulate a paper and like produce evidence-based medicine. So of course I did it on male testosterone replacement therapy, because it's kind of on brand at this point.
Yeah.
And just like every day, like I like to think like I know a lot. And then every day I'm reminded, like, I have so much more to learn.
So did you, were you experiencing any of that yourself?
Yes, absolutely. So coming out of like all those schools and the deployments, and there's some things that like the American Endocrine Society, every endocrine society, nobody argues. Urologists agree with the endocrinologists, agree with everybody, is like after age 30, as a male, you lose 1 to 3% of your natural production per year, period. No one's arguing. 1 to 3%. Off the top, every year. And then here are the things that we know decrease your testosterone levels. High cortisol levels. So high stress. Cortisol is a stress hormone. So anything that gives your body stress. Lack of REM sleep or inconsistent sleep schedule. Toxic exposures, even from like microplastics to like there's some people theorize even just the clothes we wear are decreasing our testosterone levels. But 100% toxic exposure in the body decreases testosterone levels. Consumption of alcohol and other substances. We also have things like adipose tissue, like fat cells eat testosterone. And then you walk into any firehouse in the continent of the United States and you're like, that's half this room. And that's like hard look in the mirror. And I was like, well, I never get sleep and my cortisol levels are through the roof. And I had one day off, so I got beers with the boys, and it's like, I'm all of those things,
Yeah.
and take a hard look at yourself. And like I had other things going on. I was in my early 30s, and I had some like some traumatic events that could have caused these issues. The same thing as they found TBIs, like breacher syndrome for us, are causing low testosterone levels. It actually affects it. So there's so many things that can be played into your endocrine system, but then it's also what your endocrine system plays into. So me in my early 30s, like, wow, your cholesterol is really high. And your blood pressure's not doing great, and you're having GERD issues. I'm like, why am I falling apart right now? In my early, I was like, I know that like I rode this body pretty hard for a few years, but like, come on now.
Yeah.
And then I get my testosterone levels checked, and I was sitting at like 200, which is low. Like the normal.
What should be?
So it does vary age to age. Like if you were to look up like what is this specific individual's, it might say 230 to 920. This person, it might be 250 to 950. Like they different societies and different like factors can edit exactly what the perfect range is. But roughly that, I like to say like 250 to 950 is like your swath. That's a safe number to be, which is bonkers to me. Because like it obviously hasn't been studied crazily, but like someone could walk in and have every symptom under the sun. They could walk in and be like, man, my energy levels isn't what it used to be. I've gained a lot of body fat that I just can't seem to get rid of. I'm not sleeping at night. I have no libido. Like I'm having erectile dysfunction issues. I can't remember the last time I woke up with a morning erection. Like every symptom you could imagine. I've been depressed. Like adult failure to thrive. My workouts have been trash. I can't do anything that I used to be able to do. Like just tons of symptom modality. And then you check their primary care checks their labs, and they're like 300. You're good. It's like, what do you mean they're good? It's like, oh, 300. They're good. Yeah, it's between 250 and 950.
I was just gonna say, like, it's that number it's such a wide gap.
Yeah.
So like just saying like right there, yeah, 300 is good, but is it really?
No, no, it's not. Because like I'm like, explain to me how I could triple his testosterone.
Yeah.
And he's still good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I promise you, him at 900 doesn't feel the same as him at 300.
Yeah.
And then like, what I did almost exactly that. Like I was at like the 250 marks. They were like, yeah, you're treatable. Well, like, you're right on the line. They put me on testosterone, and my cholesterol cut in half, and my blood pressure regulated, and my GERD improved, and like my sleep improved, and like I felt my depression got better, like all these other things.
Did you immediately go to that avenue when you were feeling these things? Did you already study it, or did you just like you automatically knew I think my T levels are low and I need to get this checked out?
Like we do with everything,
Googled it?
No, we took it like every firehouse or every military unit in the Grove. We took it to the coffee table. We took it to the breakfast table at shift change, and you're like, dude, I just felt like trash. One of the guys was like, you should get your T's checked. I was in the military, like in special operations. These guys, almost all of them are on TRT because they've destroyed their bodies. Like you have your Charlies that are just doing door breaches every single day until they drool. No offense to all the Charlies of the world, I love them dearly, but it's true.
I don't even know what a Charlie is.
It's a explosives guy in special operations. They deal with all the explosives, so naturally they deal with all the explosives. But you sit at the table and they're like, yeah, like I had all those symptoms, and I got my T checked, and I was in the basement, and now I feel better. And you're like, this is like a more of a wellness approach. I like that. Like, can I just fix this with diet and exercise? Like, why do I have to take medicine? Like, not that I don't. I sell medicine. Like, so it's obviously I believe in medicine.
Right.
And like, I don't think you should use peppermint oil instead of your amiodarone. I think you should.
Yeah.
I think you should use your cardiac meds. Like,
it's actually, you said it right there too. Is that there's so much stuff on there now in social media world, where you've got with the mushroom stuff, you've got
disinformation's everywhere.
Right, it's all over the place. It's like, hey, you don't have to pay for an expensive replacement therapy, or you don't have to make injections. Just take this this mushroom coffee or this other stuff, and you'll be fine.
The majority of the over-the-counter oral test boosters, the Tribuluses of the world, are trash. Like there's very little evidence-based medicine to any of it. I think what some people have seen is a bit of a placebo effect, where they're like, I'm taking the Just for Men's that I bought at the GNC, and nothing on any of those companies. Like, I don't want the smoke from it, but like, if they're just taking this Tribulus-based supplement that is supposed to increase their testosterone, and they're taking it, and they're like, yeah, I'm going to start taking this, I'm going to start working out again, hitting legs, like I'm going to try to get back on the wagon, and they start doing that second thing, and then they're like, oh, I feel way better, and my testosterone went up. Like, yeah, you started working out again. That's why your testosterone went up. My cousin, Mike, owns Oaks Fitness down in Massachusetts, and he's probably one of the biggest like advocates of physical health I've ever met in my life. And like, I would rather take a knife into a gunfight than have him decide all my workouts every day, because I will collapse because I'm his cousin. He's not going to go easy on me. But he actually just recently wrote a paper about like how much you can increase your testosterone levels just by working out.
Yeah.
Obviously, not everyone's work schedule can facilitate that, and there is a point where it can only do so much. But yeah, like I think there is a second, third order effect of that. And I think even being on testosterone replacement therapy, you can have that where they feel all these better symptoms, they start working out again, and then they naturally increase them too. Well, they're getting externally increased. And that's why I also monitor pretty regularly. Like I'm big on repeat labs, repeat evaluations. Like, we specialize in optimization. I don't just need to be on paper for like our target. I want the shot group right in the middle. I want all the rounds touching each other.
So what do you do here then? If someone's brand new to this place, and we just talked about all these things, I come to you and say, I have low libido, my workouts suck, my sleep suck, I don't feel like myself anymore, help me.
Absolutely. So like the first thing we do is exactly what you just did. You walk in, you can reach us through our website, you can reach us through our social media. However you get a hold of us, we'll schedule an appointment, we'll sit down with you. For us, the consult is free. Because what if you don't need it? Like, I'm not going to charge you for it. It doesn't make sense to me. It feels unethical. So like, I'll have a conversation with anybody. Like, if you want to come in through my door and talk about hormone replacement therapy, we're going to do just that. So they come in, we talk about it, we talk about their symptom modality. We go through a pretty long questionnaire. We chart everything. This is a medical office. This isn't like a health spa. And we go through it all. We look at their treatment modality, and then we make not a decision today, but we make a direction. I'm like, okay, I think you are a potential candidate. We should draw your labs. We don't just check your test levels. We check your test levels, your free test levels, your bioavailable, your sex hormone binding globulins, your luteinizing hormones, your follicle stimulating hormones. I check your CBC, your complete blood count, and your complete metabolic panel. I want to see everything. I want to see how your liver looks. I want to see your hemoglobin and hematocrit. I want to see your luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, because those are the hormones that can stimulate like one's testicles to produce testosterone. So if those are super low and you're low, and be like, you might actually just have like a production issue. We might be able to treat that through another means. I can look at all of the factors, your estrogen levels, make sure you don't have a high conversion rate. Because sometimes you can even have high testosterone but low free or bioavailable. It needs to be free in order to be effective. So you can still be symptomatic. And so we have to see why that's happening. Why is it binding? Why is it converting? So like we look at everything. And we don't make any medical decisions that day. And I know there are places out there that do everyone does it a little different. But until I have all the data, until we know what the best treatment is for you, we're not putting you on medicine. That's not how it works. I don't just like assume that you're having a cardiac dysrhythmia and just put you on dysrhythmics. I need to know. So I treat that. Your hormone levels the same way. I've heard of other places where you walk in through the door and they're like, yeah, we'll draw your labs. Here's a shot of testosterone on your way out the door. I'm like, that's horrible for you. You should never do that again. Please don't ever go back there. And like, that's just how we do business here. And like, I've had plenty of people, honestly, I want to say maybe a quarter of the people that have come through my door, hardworking guys, lots of cops and firemen come through my door. It's probably because we have that inherent trust of each other. A lot of veterans. I'd say 80% of my clients are cops, firemen, veterans, hard work. It's just like blue collar guys, just out there working, construction workers, and they come through. And there's been a quarter of them probably that I sit down with them at the lab. I'm like, man, you're looking great. Like you have some like little stuff here that I'm seeing. I can understand why you're having some of these symptoms. I can help you manage it, but you do not need exogenous testosterone, nor will I be putting you on it because it's not right for you. There's a concern out there in the world where everyone's like, well, if I start testosterone, I'm on it for life. I'm sure you've heard that.
I've heard it. And I'm
on it for life. That's what everybody says.
One of the biggest things that I wanted to talk to you about this is because I hear that a lot. So these answers are really, we need to find them out. Right?
And the answer is yes and no. Right? Like if I check your testosterone levels today and you're at 150 and you're feeling like trash, 150 is where you're at. So if I put you on testosterone, get you up to 800, and you're feeling great, and you're like, oh, but I'm on this for life. I'm like, I mean, you could stop taking it, but you're gonna go right back to where you were.
Yeah.
So like, are you on it for like, you'll just go back to where you were. Sometimes if you've been on it for a long time, you do have some testicular atrophy and you'll be slightly lower. But if someone truly was one of my clients and they're working, they're like, I need to be done doing shots for a while. There is other options, like there is the gels, and there is some other like therapeutic options that are not injections. But if they're just like, I need to come off of exogenous testosterone, we can also put them on like enclomiphene for a period of time to increase their natural production to try to get them a little higher than they were before they walked through my door and make it an easier transition off. But yeah, like it's for life in the fact that like, you came in with symptoms and we put you on something to manage your symptoms.
Yeah.
But if you stop taking it, your symptoms may come back and you're gonna go back to where you were, which is where you're at right now.
Yeah.
So like, it's your decision.
You just have to keep up that maintenance then.
Yeah, I like the comparison of like, if someone came in with bad cholesterol and we put them on medicine to fix their cholesterol, and they're like, do I have to take this forever? I'm like, I mean, if you don't, you'll just have bad cholesterol again. Like it's up to you. Like, what do you want to feel? Like, like people do take breaks, and we do put them on. Especially like I have a client right now that was a transfer from another location, and they had him on a little bit too high of a dose, in my opinion, for too long of a time. And especially not considering, like, there's a lot of things on my questionnaire, like one of the big ones for me is fertility. Do you have children? Do you plan on having children? What is your plans? Because there's some people like, I've already had surgery to make sure I can't have children, like less of a concern. But if they're like, yeah, me and the wife are trying, I'm like, I'm probably less apt to put you on exogenous testosterone because there will be testicular atrophy because I'm giving it to you, and that will decrease spermogenesis, which is not what you are telling me you want.
Right.
I'm not here to just like, I'm not a used car salesman. I'm not just here to peddle a product.
Right.
Like if it's not, this is medicine. This isn't a used car. So like if the medicine's not right for what you want in your life, I'm not giving it to you.
Right.
Period. So like I've had people that I put on like an enclomiphene or a Clomid, which is it increases your luteinizing and follicle stimulating hormone, which will stimulate your testicles to produce a higher level of testosterone naturally, but actually increases spermogenesis. So it'll actually make you more fertile. It is actually used in the female fertility world to increase fertility for women, taking Clomid. So it works very well, and I had to put someone kind of on a high dose of that, and if that's not effective, we even might look down the HCG route, which really stimulates you to produce a high level. And we have to do that route while decreasing his testosterone a little bit over time, because I don't want to just take him off of everything, be shock to his system.
Yeah.
And I run his labs pretty regularly because I'm really trying to dial him in, but like his goals are my goals. Yeah, like that's where it's at. I was like, you want to have a kid? I was like, dude, I can't wait till you tell me you're having one. Let's get this done for you.
Absolutely. That's great. And then you also have, I know there's a big market out there as well for peptides.
Correct, yeah.
So what's the peptide thing about?
Peptides are definitely like designer cars, right? Like they're like testosterone, definitely guys are like, I'm struggling right now and I need help. And it's like, you need a way to work. Like you just like, I can get you there. So it's a little bit of a different avenue, because like when I sell it to them, like, hey, this is like care you kind of need. And then I'd be like, and if you want some designer, if you want like a nice radio in the car too, there's that. Like this is some extra stuff. At their foundation, a lot of those peptides are just branched chain amino acids. And that's like what your food is broken down into, like that fundamental amino acid that your body can utilize for fuel to produce an effect. So you look at like one of the major ones I sell here is Simorelin. And Simorelin is a growth factor 1 peptide. So it's a branched chain amino acid you give yourself subcutaneously, and it floats to your to your posterior pituitary gland, and your pituitary gland's like, sick, it's my favorite stuff ever. And it grabs it all up, and now because it has it, it can produce what it produces at a better rate.
Okay.
Right? And like it's like, oh sweet, I can make more. And like now I have more, and then is it gonna make you like huge? No, it's not. This is not a miracle. Like you have to put the work in. You have to diet. You have to do all the things. But like I think where it really finds its niche isn't like making your muscles grow better. Yes, minorly it will do that because it's growth factor 1. It increases your growth hormone. You will grow. Every word had grow in it. But I think where it really makes its money is it helps you heal. So it opens the doors. You know how are you familiar with like diabetics with insulin? Like sugar can't get in, insulin opens the door, sugar gets in. So I think that growth factor goes like, hey, this muscle's sore, I ripped it up at the gym today. It opens the doors, it brings in the proteins, brings in the amino acid, brings in all the things into the muscle to give it the fuel it needs to help it grow and heal.
That's awesome.
And so yes, it gets it that way, but I also think now the next day, if you wanted to work that out again, you're more able to because you healed better.
Yeah, and that's it's the reason I said because there's been people saying like I take this peptide and my elbows feel better, my knees have felt better, and they usually have like some kind of they've overworked it and now they're getting that fix.
Correct, and that brings me almost to my next point. Like I've put people on it several times. They're like, oh man, I just banged up my knee. I'm going in for a knee surgery or ankle surgery or something like that. I'm like, all right, 100% this is all voluntary medicine, right? Like I'll sell it. Like I think you should consider. Here's literature, YouTube it, do your own. Like I'm not trying to like don't look it up. Like if you ever go someplace for medicine, they tell you not to look it up. Do not go to that person. They're not worried about what you're gonna find. And I'm like, do all your own research. We can have this conversation later. But like I would suggest you consider going on this now before the surgery because if we can increase your growth factor, you can increase your healing, and you can recover in a fraction of the time. And that's been studied. Like there's NCBI studies about like growth hormone and growth factor improving healing aspects. And then you have like the collagen-based peptides, which is huge popular ones like the BPC 157. That's going to be released by me soon because I use a U.S. pharmacy and like all of the standards through the FDA, which everyone sees that those were just approved. Our BPC 157 and TD 400 are at FDA purity tests right now. So once they get the thumbs up, which I'm being told any week, I get the thumbs up and I can start selling it. Nice. So that's the big thing. The other big peptide the world talks about are the GLP-1s.
Yeah.
I don't sell easy buttons here. Like I'll help anybody who walks through my door. But I definitely don't want to be like, well, I sit at a desk all day and I plan to keep sitting at a desk. I just like to sit at a desk a little skinnier. I'm like, you're probably not the perfect client for me. I'm not going to turn down anybody that wants care. But I sat down with my medical director. My medical director is an amazing man. He's super intelligent. Like John Hopkins trained doctor, was in the military for 8-9 years, got out as a captain. He's a medical director for the emergency service line in New Hampshire, and then also is like sitting as a chief medical officer for a hospital. He's just an extensive professional. And we looked at like different GLP-1s. We looked at the different options that were out there because there is a lot of options out there. And we had a slew of data of people that come into the ER. We're like, which one has the least visits? Which one has the best index for safety? Because that matters to me. Because I don't need to shoot a bazooka at a Honda Civic. You can do it with a small round, Like so for me, when I looked at it, I was like, if a guy's working with me and his BMI is super bad and his testosterone was really bad and we're dialing in his health and we get him on testosterone or we get him on some peptides and he's working out. And we got him with a personal trainer. I'm actually working out right now a new, like a business development with a personal training company so that I can send all my referrals to them. And it's through an old military friend. It's owned by a Green Beret amputee, actually, Nick Laverty's. Wow. Pretty incredible human being, actually. Very inspiring. And I'm trying to work out with them so that when someone comes to me and they also want personal training, they'll give him individualized plans with the care we're providing. And then if they're like, I also want something to help me get this weight off, help with appetite suppression, then I do offer them. So right now we offer liraglutide, which is a daily subcutaneous injection, and I'm getting amazing feedback from clients that are on it, like that are like, I just don't crave sugar.
Yeah.
I still eat meals, but I'm not craving Reese's. I'm not craving.
Oh man, I crave some sugar up Twizzlers, M&Ms.
Yeah, they say that just goes away. It's just like that signal goes away. They're like, I don't crave beer, you know, like they just say it goes away for them, and I'm like, great, that's the goal. And I think I have one of the plans right here.
So
I do a comprehensive plan day by day. So this is exactly what like a liraglutide regimen would look like from week 1 to week 16. And it's not for life. It's for 16 weeks, and then you're done.
So you do all the blood check, and you get all that information, and you sit down and talk to them about what they want.
Yeah.
And which I love that. Like, tell me what you want, tell me what you need.
Yeah, what are your goals?
What are your goals?
How can I assist with you
After
reaching that
all
goal?
that's done, what's the next step?
So then we do the follow-up, right? And like I like having people in my office because one, I pay for the lease for a reason. No, I like the face-to-face interaction. I want people, you know, you work in emergency services. It's become so depersonalized.
Yeah.
Like you go to like before, like back in the day, you used to call your doctor, and he would in the middle of the night in his PJs, he'd come with his little leather bag to your house and take care of your kid that was sick. And it was just so personalized. You were like, I can trust you with my child.
Right.
Which I think in EMS and in the emergency services, that's the gold standard compliment. Would you let him treat your kids?
Right.
Like, you know, like you're like, oh yeah, he's all right at his job. Would you let him treat your kids?
Yeah.
Like, it's that gold standard is like, I would let him treat my kid.
Yeah.
And that's what you used to have. You had that faith, that trust in your provider. Now at some facilities, like I don't want to discount places, and some providers out there are amazing, but you go to some places to just get talked down to by a guy that makes $1 million a year and wears a white coat, and then tells you about your body, and then leaves with 2 prescriptions in hand.
Yeah.
And you're like, that was fun. Can't wait to do that again. And like, you don't get your questions answered. There's time limits on how long a provider can spend with their people.
Yeah.
I hate it. Like I'm tired of reacting to people's medical concerns, which is like what we do in EMS and fire and in the ER. I'm an ER nurse too, and so like people are already having problems when they show up.
Yeah.
I'd love to be proactive, and that's part of the reason here. I was like, how can we like prevent you from having a heart attack? You know,
Right.
like how do we get ahead of this?
So you get them in here. You've then now developed that plan.
Correct. And I just presented to him like, hey man, like you told me these are your goals. Like circle back to what we talked about before.
Yeah.
This is what the numbers are telling me. Like there is some help here. I'm like, this is what we can do. And we go, and I was like, I would suggest we go to like, and some people I'll be like, what's your comfort level needles? Like if you were going on 200 a week, which is like pretty much the highest I would ever start. So I've only started a few people that, and they were really, really, really low. And I'd be like, all right, we're gonna do 100 twice a week, which I prefer to spread it out so you have less ebbs and flows. I feel like my clients all report back to me with much better feelings or results and less side effects when they have that. But if the person's like, I'm super busy and I don't want to do that, I'm like, all right, we're going to do 1 shot a week, which is still fine through the pharmacokinetics and dynamics of it. I do think there's a little bit of a dip towards the end of the week, but it's not untherapeutic. It's still very manageable. And we look at it, we look at their conversion rate and their estrogen rate. We look at all of the options. I present the peptides. I sell them a little less hard because I'm like, this is something I really think you need relatively for like your symptom modality, and I really think we can improve things on your life. These are some things that might help and might help you achieve the goals you told me about. And that's kind of how I'll be like, and it's 100% like there's very low pressure on the peptide world for me, because I'm like, these are some cool things that I think would aid you in your journey. But I'll tell you, I look everyone right in their face. I'm like, but you could do it without them.
Yeah.
Lots of people have. You know, I'm like, this will really help you, and I think will help your body get back to. As men, we don't want to be low.
Yeah.
Our body hates it. Our body hates being low. Everything about it. We just feel bad. And you're like, I'm grumpy today. And you're like, probably low. Like that's our body can't stand it. It hates it.
Yeah.
So like we're gonna fix that. This is a medical concern in my mind. These things are nice to haves. I think they can do a lot for good people. It can help them recover faster and improve quality of life and like improve their workouts and their motivations. I think it's great. They're just nice to have.
Yeah.
So that's how I sell them. I'm like, hey man, this is a very low pressure sales pitch for me on this side. These things can help if you'd like them.
Yeah.
They're not cheap. You know, like Smorlin can be $200. I sell it like constituted, so it comes in a refrigerated container right to your house. Put it right in the fridge, and you do your shot every night. Fantastic. And like, so it keeps you really good, and it makes it. I make it as easy as possible for you. But they're not cheap. I think semi-glutides are pretty expensive, especially because like the market is so saturated.
What if people are they able to try to go through their insurance when they're doing this venture?
We do insurance for labs. I have like I love hate that we use a third party for labs, but I don't have the bandwidth to set up a whole lab myself. At this venture, maybe someday, you know.
Yeah.
But I use LabCorp. Like, we have a good working relationship, but because of the size of LabCorp, we can submit their labs and you can run it through your insurance, which can be huge. If you end up doing every lab, and we are a little over the top probably on labs, we check a little more than the average place, but I care about people's health. Like, I'm going to check their hematocrit, hemoglobin hematocrit every time, because if you're on testosterone for a long period of time, you can have an increased production of erythropoietin, which is like a thing that causes your bone marrow to produce more red blood cells. And if it does, and you have like an increase, that your chances of stroke astronomically increase. Your chances of heart attack, you're thickening your blood. And there's ways to treat it. One of them is just go donate blood. But like, I monitor that because like I want my people to be optimized and have like long, fruitful lives.
Yeah.
Like fixing one thing and damaging another is not the move.
Right.
You know, like, so that's not my goal. So I keep checking everything. Like, I check your liver enzymes, even though I know injected testosterone does not go through your liver, but like, I'm still checking it.
Yeah.
And like, I've had numerous patients that I sat down that were going to go on an oral med, like clomiphene, which does go through your liver, not very toxic. Everything goes through your liver, taxes it. And then you take a Tylenol, it's going through your liver and taxing it a little. And I'm like, hey, I saw through your labs that you should contact your primary care and maybe get a liver ultrasound. Like, because I don't do anything in a vacuum either. Like, once our charts are finalized with our medical director's signature, and he's added the ICD-10 codes and the diagnostics, and he's gone through everything, which happens before the sit down a lot of the times. I'm kind of like his vessel. It's how your doctor's office works. And all the orders come from the doctor. And we close out that chart. Like, this isn't like, I didn't write this in Microsoft Word. Like, this is in an ePCR format, and I will share, like, if you want, I'll give you a copy of it. You have access to your record, and we can get it to your primary care so they know what you were doing. Like, I'm not scared for any other doctors to look at what we're doing here, because we're doing it right.
Love it.
And so, like, I want your primary care, and I've sent people, I'll be like, hey, I think we should hold off on this for a little bit until you talk to your primary care, and like, you get the clean bill of health, because I don't know what's going on with this, because I'm not a medical doctor.
Yeah.
Like, I know some stuff, you know, but like,
you know what lane to stay into.
100%. Like, I'm not going to sell medicine I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I have ideas of what's causing this, and I'm going to let your doctor tell you it.
Yeah. That's great.
Because this isn't my world. You didn't come to me to check your liver. I'm just seeing some things that are concerning to me, and I'd really like you to get them checked out before we progress forward, because I don't want to start changing things in your body till we know everything's good.
That says a lot, though, that you actually carrying them forward thinking and making sure that they're getting the best treatment possible. And you also have other services you provide here as well. You have some IV therapy that you do.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It's funny. That was like an idea that just kind of happened. It's like, all right, well, we're opening the office. I'm focusing on hormone replacement therapy, that testosterone world, and peptides. But if I have the office, like, I should offer some other stuff. Like, the company that I'm contracting with, the pharmacy, to do all of my medications through, sells all these IV vitamins. And I knew some about them, and so I started diving down rabbit holes. Like, there's a bookcase full of books over there about IV vitamins, and some of it's amazing. And the more I've learned, I'm like, I'm going to keep doing this. And I don't know about you, but I always get migraines after structure fires. And like, you always have that thing, like 3 days after a fire, you take a hot shower and your shower smells like fire.
Yeah.
And I recently just put together, because we had a fire over in Rye that I was on ladder 2-4 for Portsmouth, so we went in pretty early. And it was a good fire. Like, we made a good stop to a very historical building. A lot of guys did great work that day. And but, you know, like every fire, you're messy. And, you know, do all the right decon thing. Portsmouth has a very robust decon policy, and we scrub all the gear goes right in. We're clean cab. We swap our gear out. We immediately do laundry and scrub our bodies and do all the things you can. You start chugging water, but like, still, it's dirty. We're full of toxins.
Yeah.
So I found, like, I kind of created this little bit of a detox infusion you can do, because one, like, we're probably a little dehydrated. You put in work. We all know you do. And so, you know, just give you 1,000 bag of fluids. And then I normally put vitamin C, high dose vitamin C. Like, not like, it found if you take vitamin C, like, everyone takes emergency, like, I got the sniffles, I'm taking some vitamin C. Drink some orange juice. If you ingest it through your GI tract, you can get to like 8 nanograms per deciliter. I'm gonna nerd out for a minute. So like 8 nanograms per deciliter. If I give it to you through your veins, I can get you to like 200, 250. And it just floats around as a free radical. It hurts nothing. Your body loves having vitamin C around. And hospitals, like, and this isn't like this is being done at the ABC Health Spa in downtown near the water. Like, John Hopkins is studying this. Mayo Clinic is studying this. They're using it to treat cancer. Wow. So they have cancer patients. It's not replacing chemotherapy and stuff like that, but they're giving like 20-gram doses IV of vitamin C to cancer patients, and they're finding that as it floats around, cancer cells go, that looks like sugar, because cancer cells have a Krebs cycle just like other cells, and they'll grab it. And then it's like, that wasn't sugar. And it grabs the next one that comes by, and it keeps going like that. And it's swelling when it does this. And eventually, when it swells too much, it goes through apoptosis, and the cell breaks and dies. I'm like, you just killed a cancer cell with vitamin C. What are we doing here?
That's crazy.
And so, like, and it just assists your body's natural immune system. And then there's another supplement known as glutathione. Glutathione is naturally made in your liver. Period. End of story. So what it does is when your liver's a filter and stuff comes through, toxins, lots of carbon-based toxins, 100% proven that though it will eliminate carbon-based toxins, and it's theorized with others. And when it floats by in your body's like, I can't eliminate this myself. I can't like get rid of it. It'll throw glutathione on it. What glutathione does is grabs it and binds with it. It's like, hey, we're gonna hang out. Kind of like when you take activated charcoal for something in your GI system. It's just gonna bind with it, and then it carries it to your kidneys and pees it out. It's like, hey, get out of here. It's basically the bouncer of your body. Like glutathione will just bind with whatever it is, whatever carbon-based, like, you know, carbon dioxide, whatever bad carbon-based thing or whatever bad toxin is floating past it, it'll bind with it and like just handcuff it and carry it to the kidneys. The kidneys pick up whatever's with the glutathione, you pee it out. Gone.
Wow.
And so I started doing that, and like I don't give small doses. I give like 1,000 milligrams IV, like through that infusion, and now that stuff floating around your body. So those toxins that we've absorbed, and like no one's arguing that we're absorbing toxins.
Right.
I would love to sit down with someone arguing that we're absorbing. Like, no, you're not absorbing toxins. I'll be like, what? That dude eats crayons. I promise. And like everybody knows. That's why there's a cancer exemption law. That's why we have all these things, and I really think there could be a benefit to our service to be able to like come in, like we talk about saunas, we talk about like fitness levels, we talk about showering as often as we can. Like we decon the outside of our body. Yeah. We don't do any decon for the inside. We're actually probably the worst at it. We smash pizzas and coffees when we get done. Yeah. Like, and we're probably like the worst at deconning the inside of our body.
Yeah, there's always something good said about pizza and coffee after a good structured fire.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm not gonna not eat it. Like let's be clear. I'm gonna eat it.
I'm super hungry and super thirsty, so I'm gonna scarf that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are your hours here for Forge Wellness?
Unfortunately, they vary because like fire department schedule is shift work.
Yep.
And it rotates. So it varies on that. I normally post my schedule on my door and on my website. This month is a bit of a marketing month. Unfortunately, the U.S. military, I'm still in, said like, hey, we need you to go do a thing for a couple weeks. So that cuts into clinic hours. I'm the only provider. Yeah. Well, I'm not the provider. I'm the only person here that does the day-to-day. So, and I have the protocols and everything signed by our medical director. Everything's very squared away through him, and he does come in here and do clinic hours, so that's nice. Is he'll actually come in and see patients face to face, but he's a very busy guy.
Sure.
So I do a lot of it for him, and he'll do video telehealth, which we're able to do. So if someone in Bethlehem, New Hampshire wants to get seen and doesn't want to drive to Rye, we can see him. We can schedule and do it video telehealth, which is all HIPAA compliant. Everything's all squared away, but our hours vary. So I always encourage people, like if you want this treatment, we also do like NAD infusions. Which is amazing, like for deep cellular detox and anti-aging and just cellular health and function. And then we do other vitamin infusions like Myers cocktails, magnesium recovery infusions for guys just working out crazy hard, need to replace a lot of those minerals and things along those lines. We do hangover cures when people have like hit a little too hard. Everyone's been there, you know. Yeah. And so yeah, we offer those services, but it's very on a scheduled basis. Like I encourage people to reach out through our website.
So it's best to actually contact you through your website or Instagram to make sure you're open, make sure you're available.
Yeah,
and
schedule your appointment. Yeah.
And you can schedule online.
Correct. Well, you can. There's an intake you fill out, which is just send me information, and then I will reach out to you directly, and just, like whether it's via text or whether via email, and be like, hey, when this is the availability this week, can we work? Because some guys are like, you know, I'd really like to come in during the week, but I work till 5 every day. And I'm like, right now, like it's the cool thing about like I own this place and I run it. I can do what I want with it. I'm like, why don't we do a 6 o'clock appointment? Yeah. Let me work for you.
So you're very accommodating to other people's schedules.
We try to be, yeah. I got a business to run. Being accommodating helps, especially because like I believe in the business ethics side of it, and I think it's working out for me because, like I said, I've told a quarter of the people that sat down in the chair you're sitting in, you don't need any services. Yeah. Like I joked with one of them. I was like, not only do you need any services, you're like genetically perfect, and I hope nobody else is like you because my business model is going to fail. And he just laughed it off. But he sent me 3 referrals.
That's great.
Like he went back to his employer and they're like, you guys should go get checked out by him. because he's not going to sell you a product you don't need.
Right.
He's like, he's going to like give you medicine if you need it. Because there's plenty of people, I'm like, nah, man. I was like, we can look into what else might be causing these feelings. You're still a candidate for peptides if you'd like. Like that's but again, that's a low pressure for me. It's
Right.
very if you like. Like I'm like, yeah, we can offer you that, man. It's funny. I have a lot of people sign on for it because they're like, I feel like I came in here willing to buy this product. I was willing to swipe my card, and you told me no.
Yeah.
Which may not be the best business model at the end of the day. Like I've told plenty of clients no, that I'm not going to make them a member. And we keep ourselves very affordable. The cool thing about being a small shop is my overhead's me.
Yeah.
I have one employee. He does all my marketing, social media, because I hate it and I'm busy. And that's it. You know, I have my overhead at this building. So like for cost breakdown, it's $150 a month membership. And we don't mark up our prices for other stuff. So like a bottle, like I hear about some of these other clinics where a bottle of testosterone is $400. And I'm like, oh, you have a membership fee. You just don't realize it. Because a bottle lasts about, depending on your dosing, obviously, if you're a really low dose, it can last longer. But I sell a bottle of testosterone for $45.
Wow.
Because that's what I get it for. Or there's several things like it cost me $43.50.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we're gonna call it 45.
Yeah.
And then there's like a shipping fee, so I try to do like your order in one instead of like I don't like people are like, let me think on this more. I'm like, absolutely do so. Just know that there'll be a shipping fee for both purchases now. Samorelin, I like to let people know too. It's like a $40 shipping fee because it's got to be same day mailed and it's got to be refrigerated.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it comes in a refrigerated container, so there's an increase. It normally costs like $35, $40.
Well, I mean, it's all great information, Greg, and I really appreciate you sitting down with me and really explaining, like thoroughly explaining it.
Yeah.
And you're obviously always open for information for anybody who needs to get a hold of you.
Yep.
Again, you have your Instagram page, you got your website, and the address here is
6 Airfield
6
in Rye.
Airfield in Rye.
Yeah, we're co-located. We're above Flight House Gym. It's an extremely great gym facility downstairs. There's also New England Pickleball. There's a climbing wall. They always joke it's like a fitness mall or a wellness mall in this place. And we're all just kind of running a race. There's a physical therapist downstairs that does great work.
Awesome.
So it's very cool. I'm very passionate about this, so it's very easy. I sit down with people. I'm like, let me show you all the cool stuff I've learned. This is so awesome. Let's get you feeling. And like, I can't tell you how good it feels to get like a 5-star Google review or to like. I like to reach out personally. Like we send like an email out beginning of every month, like checking in. But it's very like you can tell it's canned. It's like it's a generated email. But I tend to reach out a lot to a lot of my patients, especially when they're starting their stuff, and be like, how are you feeling? How would this symptom go that we were talking about? How is this going? How's the family? How's everything? And like a lot of them are like, I recently, even last week, was like, dude, you've changed my life. Like I feel it. I'm like, I didn't. I'm not out here like, I'm not performing miracles. I'm like, no, man, you're just back to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is how you're supposed to feel, actually.
And you listened.
Yeah, I was like, how you used to feel is not it. Like, this is how you're supposed to feel. And he's like, no, he's like, my work life's better. And like, I talked to he owns a business. I talked to someone that works for him. He's like, thank God he went to you.
That's
he's
awesome.
like, he's so much more even tempered. And so it feels so good to know, like, I had a business model and a dream that I wanted to do this. And I talked about it for a very long time. And finally was like, you know what? Talked to my medical director, who's a good friend of mine. I was like, he's like, let's just do it. Let's pull the trigger. Let's get this started.
Love it.
And I was like, you know what? Fine, deal, done it. And I started that in like August, opened the doors second week of February here, and it's just been, everyone's been so welcoming. Everyone's been so receptive to it. People are so interested when they come through the door. They're like, I'm so glad to just sit and have a conversation with someone about this, then not feel like pressure. Because I don't if this isn't for you, then I don't want to give it to you.
Yeah.
And if it's not right for you, I won't give it to you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
I love it, dude. Well, I really appreciate the time talking with me about it. So you all hear it. So if you got any questions, reach out to Greg Tufts of Forged Wellness in Rye, New Hampshire. It's been a pleasure, my friend.
Good to see you.
All right. So you all heard it. You all stay safe. I have to end my podcast with a little nozzle top. I say nozzle top at the end. You ready to do it with me?
Oh, I have to say it too?
You got to say it with me.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
So you all stay safe, be well, and
Nozzle top.
Nailed it.